Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. And guess what, y'all? We done had a Master Series and a Tier 1, Bryce. What's going on, man? We done had some fire starting in the summertime, dog. Right? Come on now.
Now we got the big players back. You know, we're kind of past that period where the players that lost early at Wimbledon,
right?
they were playing that secure that bag, make
Trying to get them coins, right? Trying to get them coins. They done made their coins, and now it's about getting into the real meat and potatoes.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And so, folks, we actually had a Masters Series / Tier 1 event from last week. We had the Rogers Cup, which is a very interesting concept, Bryce, because it's played in Canada. But I think we mentioned this on the last podcast. They're actually at different locations. And they swap locations every year, which is actually pretty interesting.
Right.
So while they don't necessarily see each other or get to play each other, the men and the women, they're not at the same site, but they are at least in the same country.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that's a pretty interesting thing. So we had that Rogers tournament happen, and I mean, Bryce, there were some good matches there, man. Even though our boy Roger wasn't in the house, Djokovic wasn't in the house, but yet and still, that tournament was fire. What were your thoughts on it?
I definitely thought it was a good tournament. I have to be honest. When Roger's not in a tournament, it kind of loses a little bit of its shine for me.
Right.
So I was a little disappointed in that. I also was a little disappointed that my other guy, Joe Willie Tsonga, that he ended up losing in the first round. And I mean, I'm going to tell you what. I don't know if our listeners saw that match when he played Struff from Germany.
Yes.
That was such an impressive display of just power tennis by Struff. I mean, he literally took the racket out of Tsonga's hand. I mean, I wanted Tsonga to win, but I don't know how many people would have beat Struff on that day.
I'm telling you, bro. I have watched Jean-Leonard Struff for a while, and he is just. I like the guy. I've liked the guy since I initially saw him. Not too much flash or flair or anything like that. But that dude could hit the felt off that damn tennis ball, bro.
Right.
And I saw him and I was like, you know what? This young cat has potential. And he doesn't really do too much spectacular stuff. But when he is on, like you said, it's hard to beat him. He can literally blow you off the court. Right. And that's unfortunately what happened with Tsonga on the day.
Right. And remember, my first time, and I don't know if it was your first time seeing him live, was when we were at the Australian Open.
That's right, exactly.
On that Thursday night match when Federer beat him at the Australian Open.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah, I did not know that he would develop into this. And he's really not a young cat. I mean, I think he's like 29. I mean,
he's up in age a little bit. So, he's not the youngest, but at the same time, his game is really coming around in the latter portion, if you will, of his career. Even though latter portion is now,
right.
Who knows what that means? When you think about Roger Venus and Serena playing in their late 30s, so hell, he might be in the middle of his career.
You're so right, but if we talk about the men's tournament, kind of overall, it was kind of like that B-list celebrity list. So I think we said last week we really didn't see anybody in this tournament, taking Nadal out.
Exactly. Yep.
And I think we actually both called that we felt like Nadal was going to meet Medvedev in the finals.
We did actually.
We made that call. So hey, listeners, we know what we're talking about. But and we called that Nadal was going to beat Medvedev in the finals. Now that may not have been a whole lot of rocket science right there, but. Honestly, although there were some really good matches that led up to the semifinals, I mean, it was all your B squad people. It was Monfils, it was Fognini, it was Zverev and Khachanov, and I was a little surprised at how easily Medvedev dispatched Thiem. I know he's definitely much more the hard court player and Thiem is more the clay court, but I thought Thiem would have put up a stronger...
Well, and it goes back to, Bryce, what we were talking about last week. Thiem was on clay last week.
That's true.
So it's like that transition is just not that easy. I mean, it may seem like it is, but it's just not that easy. So I didn't actually have too many high expectations for Dominic Thiem. And when I saw that he took that L, I was like, yeah, that's about right. But I still feel like he's gonna bounce back. And I think even last year he showed out at the U.S. Open. So once he gets his footing right on the hard courts, he will be dangerous again. So I think this is definitely just a nice little blip for Dominic Thiem.
All right,
he all right.
Well, I tell you what, at the end of the day, Rafael Nadal notched him up another Masters Series title.
Yes, he did. And he fed somebody, too. Because he was like, yo, Daniil, hey, bro, I think you need some bread. Come on, get this bagel, friend. Come on here.
So, Nadal beat Medvedev in the finals, 6-3, 6-love, gave him a bagel in that second set. Medvedev looked like he didn't know what to do. All he wanted to do was to get on his plane to Cincinnati and get on to another week of tennis.
Right?
I mean, but they said this was Nadal's first time defending a hard court title.
How about that?
And who would have thought later in his career that he would be doing anything for the first time on hard courts?
Exactly. And it being the Masters Series, that is just ridiculously impressive. So, Nadal, kudos to you, my man. Great job. Fantastic work. And we are happy for you. And he decided to take the week off, so he is not playing in Cincinnati, which is another Masters Series. So, he's going to enjoy this victory. He feels like his game is good on the hard court. So, good on you, Nadal.
Right.
How about them women, Bryce?
Well,
come on now.
The women. Now, okay, I'm gonna roll it all the way back because I was surprised initially when Sophia Kenin beat Barty. Yeah. Took her out, and I was like, well, Barty's just now coming back. You could kind of see the rust on her game.
She was getting her potty on. That's what that was. Barty was getting her potty on up in Australia because she was number one. She had won, Grand Slam at that point. She had not been back home at that point. Right. So she went back home and she got her potty on. We know what you did. Don't be tripping.
And you know what? And as long as she bounces back before the Grand Slam, she's good, right?
Exactly.
But there were some interesting upsets along the way before we got to the semifinals. I mean, I was surprised that Svitolina did not take Kenin out, especially on a hard court. Right. I was surprised that Bruthas, that she took out Sloane, Ostapenko, Halep. I mean,
she's like, am I scared of y'all?
Right. She's like, it's my turn. So she was doing her thing. It was really, really good to see Serena finally put a lump on Osaka's head.
Ooh, and did you see that match, Bryce?
I did see that match.
Bryce, that was a good match. I tell you what, Serena played tennis like that, Serena will be contending for the U.S. Open. Right. She was like, nah, sister, you're not going to beat me 3 times. I done came out equipped. I got my Vaseline. I taking these damn earrings off. Now, heifer, it's on.
Right.
What? Come on now. Come on, Bryce.
Oh, man. So it was good to see that. And then actually, Serena really played very well in the semifinals against Bruthas because, when she, I think, did Serena, was she a little hungry in that first set? Because I know Bruthas really thought so, right? She said, Serena, you look hungry.
You look hungry. I need to help you out.
So let me give you this breadstick.
Let me give you this breadstick, baby.
But, after she ate that, she must have felt good.
She must have felt good. That was some garlic breadstick right there. Shit. What'd you say? She said, "Ooh, this shit tastes good."
But she looked really good in that second and that third set.
She did. She figured out how to play Busquets because she's a very tricky player. I was actually very impressed with her game.
I mean, she's on the come up for real.
I absolutely agree with you, man. She played, I like her game style. I like the fact that she was thinking out there, trying to throw different things at Serena. She wasn't afraid to come to the net. That's what I like. If a player is not afraid to come to the net, I'm like, you got some stuff behind you. So I like Buskova. And besides, her name makes me think that, she drinking.
Buskova, I know.
Get your drink out. Come on now.
But you know what, Isaac? All that being said, this week belonged to one person.
Yes, it did.
And that was Bianca Andreescu.
Bianca. Come on now. when that young lady jumped on the scene earlier in the year, Bryce.
Right.
I just was mad impressed with her. Her game is no joke, man.
You know who she reminds me of?
Who's that?
She reminds me of a more athletic, speedier Kim Clijsters.
And I would agree with that.
I just...
Which is hard to say because Kim Clijsters is crazy good.
I know.
As it relates to getting around the court.
I know.
But I like that semblance. I agree with you there. Yeah.
And I just think that... and it's tough because when you have these people that have these young players that have this just huge success in the beginning. Yeah. I mean, she's won 2 tier 1s.
What is that?
This year.
Come on now.
Indian Wells
and now the Rogers.
And we're at her home country, right?
Man.
So,
come on now.
I mean, those are some very big first steps to take. And, I want to make I don't know. I just feel like people, and I see it happening already with Coco Gauff, they start to make this the, expectation now.
Right.
So if Bianca gets to the U.S. Open and loses in the semifinals, which would be an outstanding result for her,
right?
They're going to be like,
oh, what happened?
Right. But let's keep it to this tournament for now. And I mean, she did the daggone thing. And honestly, I was really disappointed when Serena had to, default in that match because, or retire because I really wanted to see that matchup. Serena was looking good going into the finals.
Right.
I was thinking Andreescu, I mean, she had played some very long matches. I didn't know how that was going to play out in terms of her endurance during the championship. Right. I mean, I wanted to see them play that. And, I mean, obviously if you've been watching the news or been on social media, you know that Bianca right now is getting as much credit for winning the tournament as she is for how she handled, consoling Serena when she broke down after she had to retire. Yeah. And I think she's the future superstar.
Absolutely.
Of this tour.
No question. I mean, honestly, you talk about poise and things like that. And I mean, this is a teenager and she is consoling one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. And clearly you saw that Serena was just, she wanted to play. She wanted to play. And I, sometimes I've questioned, what's going on, Serena? Are you really, that one, there was no doubt in my mind. She wanted to play. She wanted to be there. And those were real tears, y'all. And the fact that young lady went over to her and was just really trying to console her, because mind you, Bianca's been through a lot this year as well with her own injuries. Yeah. So the fact that she could relate to her and would console her in that manner, that's just top notch right there. Right. That's fantastic.
And you had to think about it from Serena's standpoint. Part of why she really wanted to play is, in her mind, she had to be thinking, "Oh my goodness, here's another final.
That I can't show out exactly."
Right. And I mean, she's close, and we're definitely hoping she's going to get there. Right. But I mean. If she had to lose to anybody in a certain situation, I think Andreescu is just to win this title in her home country. Canada is just doing it,
dude. They are popping. You hear me? Between FAA and her, come on now. They've got a ridiculous future. Oh, and let me not forget Shapovalov because we can't forget him. Nope. You our boy as well, Dennis. So those three. Yeah, Canada is popping. Right. They got some straight out good future, perspective going on.
They should clown in the Hopman Cup.
Oh my goodness.
and for our listeners who don't know, the Hopman Cup is it's kind of like it's not really like a full tournament. It's kind of like an exhibition almost. Yeah. But what it is you have a male player and a female player from 8 different countries, and they compete in men's singles, women's singles, and mixed doubles. Right. And so if you think about Canada, and if Andreescu is the woman, and if the man is FAA or Denis Shapovalov, that is a very strong team.
That's a tandem right there.
That's a very strong team.
And to give you perspective, folks, the reigning champion is Roger Federer and Bencic.
Yes. And I don't know if they looking to give that up just yet.
Not just yet.
No.
I think Roger's got one more.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But with that, man, Bianca, congratulations to you. Second Tier 1 championship. Incredible job, young lady. Bryce, how do we look for this week? What's going on this week, Bryce?
Well, we have a Tier 1 and a Master Series in a city that we both used to live in.
Well, right? Somebody grew up there.
Yeah, somebody did. Cincinnati, Ohio, the Western and Southern Open, and I think you and I have already made a commitment that we're going to be there next year.
Next year we will be in the house. Don't even get it twisted.
Yeah, so look for us there.
Yes.
But, let's go ahead and let's stay with the women. And there's a very healthy draw on both the men and the women's side.
That's right.
For the women, our top 8 seeds for this week are Ash Barty, Naomi Osaka, Carolina Pliskova, Simona Halep, Kiki Bergen. We'll come back to that. Petra Kvitova.
Yes, back.
Alina Svitolina. And Sloane Stephens.
Miss Sloane. Yeah. We got some names, folks.
We got some good names. And let's just go ahead and address it right off the top. The reason we kind of giggled about Kiki Bergen is because although she was the number 5 seed and the defending champion, the queen, Venus Williams, showed her the way out today.
She was like, "Hey, yo, I got something for you. Here's the exit.
Right.
Gonna take it."
And I'm gonna tell you what, Venus played a very good match. I mean, she played a very solid first set. The second set, she kind of took a walkabout there for the first 4 games. She got down love 4. Actually broke back twice to get back on serve, but then ended up losing the second set.
Right.
I was going to get frustrated with her because she got up 5-2 in the third set and let Bertens come back. But in the tiebreaker, she stepped her game up and she took that. And these are the times, Isaac, where it's very easy. I don't do anymore what I used to do.
Okay.
A year or 2 ago, I would have watched this match and been like, "Oh, go ahead, Venus. All right." She may take it. Right. She may take the title. And I think what happens is when you get in these later or twilight years of your career, what Venus suffers from is what we all kind of suffer from, and it's the consistency piece. Right. Later in your career, I believe it's harder to avoid those off days. Right. The days, you have fewer days that you're really playing in your zone. And so I have learned to appreciate a good match by Venus on that day.
On the day.
I know that this match has no bearing or indication on what she's going to look like tomorrow. Okay? Right. So I'm not about to go out here and be like,
she going to win the tournament.
2019 champion, Venus Williams. I'm just going to say she looked really good today.
There you go. And I saw the first round as well against her and Lauren Davis, countrywoman. And like I said, she played really good, solid tennis. And to me, that is key for Venus right now, is playing solid tennis. She needs to play solid, get her groove, and then I think she can really start doing some things. So I'm ecstatic that she actually not only got a victory, but over a top 10 opponent. That in itself should give her a lot of confidence. So regardless of how she does for the rest of this tournament, she's got a top 10 scalp. So she should be able to go into the U.S. Open really feeling good about that and hopefully looking to build on that.
Exactly. And as we had one sister advance, we had the other sister take the exit to the left.
Yes.
And that would be Serena Williams. And, props to Serena for even coming to Cincinnati and trying to see if she could be ready to play. She wasn't feeling it. Still having some issues there with that back from the Canadian finals. And I think we all understand, the goal here is the U.S. Open.
Exactly.
It's not to win another.
Not a tier 1.
Right.
Yeah, tier 1s are nice.
Right.
That is not the objective for Serena Williams.
No, so she has a nice 2-week period off now before the start of the tournament, and I think that was a wise thing on her part.
I agree.
But with that being said, all the other seeds are still in the tournament.
They're still there.
So who are you thinking might make the semifinals and finals?
Yeah. So you know what's interesting, Bryce? So I was looking at that top half of the draw, and I got my girl Sloan in there, and I'm hoping that she is able to bounce back. But she's been on this the whole wedding tip,
right.
And her results have definitely been reflecting that. So while I love her and will support her always, I just don't believe she's going to be able to get it done.
Okay.
So who I have in the top is, I actually have in the semis, I have Kvitova facing Pliskova. So I got the two Czechs.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them fighting it out. So what about you? Who you see on that top half?
Well, I don't have either Czech. I think Ash Barty is going to really want to rebound from that loss last week in Canada.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to bring her game, and I think she's going to make the semis up there.
Okay.
I also kind of feel like Sloan is going to rebound here as well.
All right.
Yeah, I think rounding into the U.S. Open, I think she wants to make a statement. Okay. And I think, so I'm calling Barty to meet Stevens in the top semifinals. So
that's a good match.
So between the four different people we picked, somebody should hit.
Right, exactly. That's rare that you and I actually pick completely different people.
Right.
But right on. That bottom half for me is, I just feel like it's going to be Halep against Osaka. I think Osaka, she took that L to Serena last week. She was like, bow down, bitch. And that's what she did.
Right.
And now she's like, okay, I done took the L from Serena. I done learned a couple things. I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to be right. So I think she's going to play Halep in the semifinals on the bottom half. Who you got?
I'm the exact same. I think it's Halep and Osaka. I really don't see anybody in there that's going to disrupt that.
There you go. Yeah, and for me, I've got Kvitova coming out of the Czech battle, and I think Osaka will take out Halep. How about you?
Well, I have Barty taking out Stevens, and then I have her meeting Halep in the final, and I have Barty taking the title.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. See, I have Osaka taking the title. I think she's trying to get herself right, because she know what's up. Hard courts, she'd have been all excited. Ooh, I'm back on my hard courts. You better bring that game then.
I think, and she's definitely got the hard court game. Yeah. I just think with Halep winning Wimbledon, I think she's going to have kind of a new kind of focus there. I think she's going to be a tough out for Osaka.
I don't disagree.
Tough out.
I do not disagree with you, brother.
So,
yeah.
Now let's talk about the men, which is way more exciting this week. Largely because...
Why, Bryce? Why?
Roger Federer, the king, is playing.
The king has returned. That's
yes.
Right. How you think Roger going to be, man? How you think his mental is? Let's just go ahead and jump right on into it.
I think Roger is feeling good. I mean, look, we talk about all the great qualities that this man has as a player and really as a person, right?
Yes.
From what we know. One of his greatest strengths is his ability to either shake off a bad loss or to really keep in perspective a big win.
Right.
And I think there's been enough time for him to get away from Wimbledon. Roger's the type of person who'll look back and be like, okay, I made it to the finals. I'm looking good on the year because of having played the clay and having done so well there.
Yep.
My body's feeling good. My game is looking good.
Yeah.
I think he's ready to do something. And I really believe that Roger is not as interested in winning this tournament as he is being just really ready to go for the U.S. Open. Now, the reason why I say that is because in my prediction, you're going to hear a lot of support for Roger. But I think if Roger, as long as he gets a couple of good matches in, he's good with what he's done. I really, I don't want anybody, if Roger loses in the quarterfinals or something like that, I don't want anybody to be like, what's he going to be? No, Roger's probably like, okay, good. I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Right, I'm Gucci. That's right.
So
yeah.
So the top seeds that we have for the men is we have Novak Djokovic.
Yup.
We had Rafael Nadal, but as you stated earlier, after winning the Canadian, he said peace.
Holla.
So then we have Roger Federer's third. We have Dominic Thiem, But actually, he pulled out today due to illness.
Right.
So,
Yep.
So he's out as well. 5 is Stefano Tsitsipas.
Yep.
6, Kei Nishikori.
Yep.
7, Alexander Zverev. And 8, Karen Khachanov.
Yes, sir.
So Nadal and team are out.
Yes.
But the rest are in.
Replaced by lucky losers, which was very disappointing to me, Bryce, because I really wish that they had kind of shuffled things around so that Roger would then get 2, so then he and Djokovic wouldn't potentially meet until the finals.
Right.
So that was a bit disappointing for me, but at the same time, hey, you get what you get.
Right.
You know, so and that's what we have here. So unfortunately, both Djokovic and Federer are in the top half of the draw, and to me, that bottom half is a little bit K.
Hey, no little bit K. That's full on Betty Crocker down there.
Right? Come on now.
Wow,
man.
So who do you see in the semis?
Yeah. So here is what is very, very interesting to me. And I'll talk about the semis, but I have to preface it with a quarter.
Okay.
On the top half, I think in the quarters, and I am licking my chops that this is going to happen.
Right.
I want Novak Djokovic to play Nick Kyrgios. There is some fire, y'all. There is a whole bunch of backstory. I don't know how much y'all follow tennis, but there is not a lot of love in that whole thing right there. And if Nick plays Djokovic, and mind you, how Nick put that shit out there, it was like, I cannot consider you to be a GOAT if you can't beat me.
Right.
So come get this. So listen, I have got to see that Djokovic Nick match. And in truth, Nick is popping right now. Nick is confident. Nick is happy.
Yep.
He doing interviews and he all just, he just in a good mood.
This bromance with Tsitsipas.
I'm trying to tell you, Nick in a good mood. I'm sorry. I personally am predicting an upset. I think Nick will beat Djokovic.
Yep.
And I think he is going to make it to the semis on the top half, and he will then face Roger Federer. That's who I got on that top half, brother. What you think?
That's
what you got?
Exactly what I have for
Shut your mouth.
For the same reason. Because you and I are looking at the ghetto elements, right?
Yes, sir. Come on now.
So Nick already knows he has to win one more match to face Djokovic, and who does he have? Oh, he's gonna face. No, he's got 2 more matches.
He got 2 more matches. He got to play Khachanov.
So he's gonna take care of Khachanov.
And quietly in an interview, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to playing."
Right.
I like that bitch game.
He's gonna take him out, and then he's gonna face the winner of.
Was it Luca Pui and likely Shapovalov? And I know Luca Pui is your boy.
I love Pui, but he's like one of the wildebeests of the tour. You know, everybody gets their turn. So yeah, so Kyrgios is gonna meet Djokovic.
Yes.
And he's gonna bring all of that.
All of it. He gonna bring it all. And I just, unlike Nadal, who when they met up, Nadal was like, I ain't trying to hear all this. In the way that I say Federer is a little bit fragile with Djokovic, Djokovic's fragile with Nick.
Yes.
I think Djokovic will crack.
He will crack.
Nick. He will crack. I just predict that Nick is going to win that match, and he gonna be looking at him like, go what? Go what? You want to be what? You need to come and beat me. How about that? Dude. Ooh, and you better know I will likely take off work if that match happens.
Well, you can come over here.
Oh, I hate you.
So anyway, let me stop clapping before Chet, our producer, comes in and strangles us.
He gonna be mad because I've been clapping a lot. Anyway, so what about that bottom half, Bryce? What about the cake side?
The cake side.
Yeah.
So first of all, RBA. So Roberto Bautista Agut. He's gonna take that section because he's in Zverev's section, and anybody can come take Zverev's section.
Anybody.
So he's gonna come take his section.
Yes, he is.
And be in the semis. And then actually out of the bottom, I think it's gonna be Goffin.
You really think it's gonna be Goffin, huh?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Goffin.
All right.
I do.
All right. I like Goffin. He's one of the guys. I like him. I don't know why. I just do. I like his game. I like his personality. I just like the guy. But I actually picked K. I went with you on the RBA because I do think anybody is going to get up on Zverev. Right. But I definitely think RBA will get up on him.
I think he will.
But I feel like K is, I think he's going to end up sliding up into that semi, actually.
You think so? You really think so?
I feel like K may get it done against RBA.
You know what that's called?
What's that called?
Gas. That's what you feel. That's that feeling in your chest you feel.
See, you're wrong. That ain't right, dog. That ain't right.
They got Tums for that. So anyway, so who did you have? So I have, so for me, RBA playing Goffin.
Okay.
I picked RBA.
Okay.
Because I think we've seen this already this year with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the top, I had Federer taking out Kyrgios. And I just want to say briefly, with Kyrgios and Federer, you have the reverse situation.
Correct.
Kyrgios has so much admiration and respect for Federer.
Yep.
I think it's very tough for him to beat him. To get to play that kind of game that he would need to play to beat him.
Even though he's done it.
He has done it.
Remember that one 7-6, 6-7, 7-6 match they played? Kyrgios was like, he was going for it. He was pissed off when he lost, which I like to see.
Right. But he has the worst record against Federer out of the big three.
Out of the big three, exactly.
Yeah. So I think Federer wins that one. I think, and so this is what I was warning our listeners about.
Yeah.
I'm predicting Federer to take the whole thing. Because if he gets in the final against RBA ain't nobody worried about RBA. Right? But like I said, if Federer happened to lose before this, I don't think that's a bad thing.
It's funny and it's a surprise. And folks, I'm trying to tell you, we are not copying draws. Bryce didn't look over my shoulder. I didn't look over his shoulder in this draw. But literally, that is exactly what I put. I think Federer will take out Kyrgios because, again, that admiration and respect. Mm-hmm. Even though he's going to play him hard. And Nick ain't never going to give up nothing. Right. So he's going to play Roger hard. But I just feel like Roger will be able to handle what Nick has to offer. And I think Fed will make it to the final. I actually, and you're going to laugh, I actually have Kei Nishikori beating RBA. Y'all should see his expression right now, y'all. It's crazy. So I have Fed playing Kei, and I, of course, have Fed winning this title. So I think he will take yet another Cincinnati trophy. So it really don't matter who's coming out that bottom half. It doesn't matter. Whoever comes out the top half is going to win. Whether it be Djokovic, whether it be Kyrgios, whether it be Federer, they will win this tournament. That bottom half is what?
K. Oh, gee.
And with that, folks, since we eating some cake,
let's jump over to our hot topic of the week. And really, our hot topic is a continuation of the hot topic from last week.
Yes, it is.
Laver Cup 2.0.
2.0.
So, we've had an update.
Yes,
so
we did.
When we brought this to you last week, we said Team Europe needed one more player added, and Team World needed two more players. Mm-hmm. Well, it was announced, actually this morning, I believe, that Team Europe has added Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Great selection, yep.
Which makes that team, just from a single standpoint, is insane. So you have Roger Federer, you have Rafael Nadal, you have now Tsitsipas, you have Dominic Thiem, you have Fabio Fognini, and then you have Zverev is there. You know, he helped clean some stuff up. You know, hey, if Zverev is your number 6 guy,
quietly, that's okay.
That's okay.
Pretty legit.
We can deal with that.
We can deal with that.
On the world side, they added today Nick Kyrgios.
Yes, they did.
And one of the things that John McEnroe said, who is the captain of the Team World, was not only has Nick been playing well, but they truly recognize that this is one of the few environments that Nick just gives 150%.
He excels.
He loves the team environment.
He loves it.
He loves being there for the teammates on the court, off the court. He loves that everything he does, whether it's on the court or off the court, is contributing to helping this team win. Right. And it's so funny because probably one of the words you will hear people or some fans that are not fans of Kyrgios say is, you know, he's selfish. He's never, and it's funny because from people that know him and from his peers, they say that couldn't be further from the truth. He's actually one of the most selfless people out there. So, so he got added to the team. Now that he's added to a team of Kevin Anderson, John Isner, Milos Raonic, and Dennis Shapovalov.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, what I wanted to ask you is, now with Team Europe being filled and us being down to one spot open on Team World, who is that one person you're going to put on Team World?
So, okay, Bryce, and what I am going to do, and I know that this may sound like a broken record, but I am going to hold true to what I said in the previous podcast. That last slot must, not need to, it must go to Jack Sock. They need a doubles player on there. They need someone who can partner up, who also is just all about the whole team concept. And, you know, Jack love hanging out with the fellas and playing double. I just personally believe that that spot should be filled by him because, again, those doubles points are important and you need somebody who really can partner up with the existing guys that you have on the squad to be able to really contend for that point. So that's what I said last week, and I am holding, because I know some folks will be like, where the hell Jack been? We don't even see him no more. Yes, because he is getting drove as it relates to singles. He just get drove left and right. But again, my boy doubles game is just it's kind of on tight. It's kind of on point.
Right.
So.
And by the way, they awarded Jack Sock a wild card for singles in the U.S. Open today,
Good
which was not popular amongst a lot of the younger American men.
Well,
and led by some conversations by like Taylor Fritz.
Ooh,
I guess apparently the consensus was Tommy Paul is the one that deserved that.
And Tommy Paul has been playing some good ball of late.
So they were like Jack Sock, really? They were like Bruin Tangelo, really?
Yep.
So anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
That's another hot topic.
It is. But I get what you're saying about Jack Sock from a double standpoint.
Right.
Now,
what are your thoughts?
I'm going to come from a different angle.
Okay.
And I'm going to go, this is like in fantasy football when they say what you do when it's your turn to draft.
Right.
You pick the best player on the board.
There you go.
Right.
That's true.
And to me, for Team World, the best player that's out there who's not currently on the squad is Daniil Medvedev.
That is very true.
And so he brings another really strong, and I'm assuming this is going to be on hard court or indoor or whatever.
Right.
You know, you have to say he's a top 5 guy in the world on hard court.
Yes, he is.
Right. So,
absolutely.
So that's a strong shot in the arm from a single standpoint.
Yeah.
He also plays a lot of doubles.
He does.
So but here's the other thing. I already think Team World has better doubles players than Team Europe. Okay, so Nadal's a really good doubles player.
Yes.
Okay? Federer's a good tennis player.
Federer's just good.
Right, so he
don't count.
Whatever. Team, I don't know.
Yeah.
Zverev,
I've seen his volleys in singles. They shaky.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tsitsipas.
I mean, he played with Nick in doubles, and they're supposed to team up.
Yeah, but they've been losing. So
okay.
and really, now Fognini plays some good doubles.
Plays some good doubles.
But I'm not really scared of Team Europe from a double standpoint. And if you really look at it from previous years, it has been the doubles that have. So I think already with Isner, Kevin Anderson, and with Shapovalov, you've already had 3 doubles players that to me would be under maybe Nadal, but maybe better than the rest of them, right?
That's valid. That's very valid.
So I think if they can have another player, like you take a Medvedev. Okay, so Medvedev may not do a whole lot against Roger and Rafa,
right?
But he may work the rest of them out. Because
that is very true.
Let's not forget about Tsitsipas.
Ooh, that's contentious. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I think that's where my vote would go.
I honestly cannot disagree with you. I think that is a very good suggestion as well.
And I'm sorry, we don't want to leave any listeners behind, but Medvedev just normally scalps Tsitsipas.
Yeah. He's up in his mental. I mean, strong, y'all. Strong. He all up in it, man. So, anyway.
So we will, of course, update you as soon as we hear when that last position is filled. But
yes, sir.
No matter who it is, I think Laver Cup right now is sizing itself up to be another huge success for the third year in a row.
It's going to be popping, y'all. Popping. Check out Laver Cup. Go check it out. Do some research on it if you haven't seen it before. It is awesome.
And with that, because we don't want to talk your ear off all night, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. We just want to remind everyone we are within 2 weeks of our official launch of Brothers on Tennis.
Yes.
The website, www.brothersontennis.com, will be up and operational. You'll be able to access all of the episodes we've done during this pilot there. And we'll also have 2 really neat episodes for you that we'll talk about next week. That will go live on the day of our launch. But most importantly, the different places you can interact with us, whether it's listening to our podcast or even joining our online family and liking our post and becoming friends with us and following us and all of that kind of good stuff, is listen to all these spots. We have iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we even have our own YouTube channel. So you can't use the excuse that you can't find us.
Don't even try it.
Because we out there.
We out there.
We are really, really out there. So anyway, we're hoping that you come along for the ride with us, and we are very, very excited about our official launch.
Yes, we are.
With that, this is your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Have a good one, y'all.